Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a video here today talking about Zecharia Sitchin. Since my channel is about ancient history and a lot of people get their ancient history from Zecharia Sitchin's books, I thought I would make a video with my thoughts on the man. Now, I have read 3 of his books. I will leave a link below for my favorite book. It is called The Lost Realms, and this is the table of contents from it. It talks about a lot of stuff in South America, El Dorado. It's the first book that I read where I really learned about Tiwanaku in Bolivia. I learned a lot from this book, and I will leave the link below. But my thoughts on the main topic as far as Zecharia Sitchin goes, the Anunnaki and Nibiru and mining gold on Earth to protect their atmosphere. When I read this, I thought, God, that is one hell of a fascinating story, and it just didn't add up in the common sense factor. I mean, I look out, I live kind of on the western end of Las Vegas, and I look over the whole Vegas Valley here, and I think of how much gold it would take just to protect the atmosphere of the Vegas Valley here, suspended in the atmosphere. And that is just mind-blowing, and you think about protecting a whole planet, and it just doesn't make sense, and there has been no confirmation from any experts on cuneiform texts that confirms Zecharia Sitchin's story about Nibiru. So, it was a fascinating story, but a fictional story. The 7 Anunnaki gods are no different than the 7 rays of light from India, the 7 sages from ancient Egypt, the 7 Elohim from the Bible. They are all these spiritual light beings that taught civilization and spirituality to humans, 10,000, during the time of Zeb Tepi, as they call it in Egypt, 10, 12,000 years ago. These are all the same group of people, and the Anunnaki are no different. They didn't come from a planet called Nibiru that never existed. So, I just wanted to give my thoughts on Zecharia Sitchin. I will leave the link for The Lost Realms. I thought it was a great book. I learned a lot from it, but the story of Nibiru and the mining gold is purely fictional. I enjoyed it tremendously, but in the common sense factor, it did not add up. So those are my thoughts on Zecharia Sitchin. His book was kind of like the Da Vinci Code. It's a fictional story, but I learned a lot from it, and I just wanted to give you my thoughts on Sitchin because I know a lot of people take it as fact, what he writes. There is some facts in his book, some very interesting facts on ancient history, but the basic premise of the Nibiru story and the Anunnaki was made up to sell books. And I wish he would have defended himself towards the end of his life when some people who really knew their ancient history were criticizing him for making this up. He never defended himself, and that kind of confirmed it to me that, he made it up. But I will leave a link below to Michael Heiser's website, and that is important for anybody to read if they, put faith in what Zecharia Sitchin writes about as far as the Anunnaki goes in Nibiru. It's just an important site that kind of goes through his work. So I just thought I would leave my thoughts on Zecharia Sitchin. Hope you have a nice day.